It's recorded.
All right, here's a list of the headlines we won't be discussing on tonight's show, simply because there wasn't enough time or controlled substances to make heads or tails of the subject matter. Headline 1. Cop who kept his job after assault plea and bar brawl loses it for groping a woman at a police promotion party. Headline 2. Soccer fan digs up granddad's skull to celebrate team's historic win. Number 3. NASA says space junk from India destroying a missile could threaten the ISS. They're even polluting space. 11-year-old boy has surgery to remove 70 magnetic balls from his penis. Here's another one, something that ties into last week. Utah mother charged for giving children lap dances, drugs, and alcohol at a birthday party. This is because they made fornication legal. Next one. Naked policeman arrests a fugitive in a sauna. The one place you feel safe in the universe. And then finally, women are disturbed after a Lyft driver shows up without pants. In case you haven't figured it out, the goal of tonight's show is a lot like the goal of this show as a whole, to point out just how insane the world really is and how much worse it might get before it implodes under the weight of its own drool. Not exactly an original premise, but then again, when has the format of this show ever been original anyway? Tonight, all four of us reconvene in the Asylum to discuss anti-vaxxer mouth breathers, little red rashes in the Big Apple, stonewashed butterfly thongs, billionaires rapping about iconic gorillas, a suspicious IPA from the notorious RBG, more tampon goodness from Dave, and even a rare smart move by the New York Knicks. In an insane world, the best thing to do is what you're doing right now. Listen to other people, try and make sense of it. Even if those other people are the knuckle-dragging troglodytes from this show. But enough wasting time. Maestro, play me a song about magnetic balls right after you hit my goddamn music.
Welcome back to Needless to Say. I'm Craig. I'm here with two frat guys and a fat guy.
Nice.
The funny thing is the fat guy's been spanked more times than fucking the two frat guys. And he fucked a goat.
I love it. I do. I love it.
I was wondering why your hand was swollen, Craig.
Yeah.
It's a little different when you were at Mike's homeschool, though. It was like, thank you, Dad. Can I have another?
Yeah. Then he drank beer from the crack of his ass.
At least it was filtered.
Yeah.
Hair filtered.
Doing body shots off his dad. This is just like college.
Yeah.
They're the stupid ones paying all that money.
Need a step stool to freaking do shots out of his freaking belly button.
Oh, shit. So what's going on, guys?
I'm so glad I wasn't homeschooled.
Yeah. Mike, you weren't here last week.
I know.
How was your 2 weeks?
It was good. It was a good
Yeah?
vacation.
Yeah, you look refreshed.
Yeah, wicked. I feel it. God. No, it was all right. Started my new job this week.
Nice.
First freaking
Yeah,
day.
nobody's heard that before.
Yeah,
I was going to say, this isn't a rerun.
Yeah, if you're listening, don't.
Did I hear this one already?
Wait until the job description comes up and we confuse even more people.
I'm so glad to be back with you guys. No, I'm working at somewhat kind of like the last thing.
Yeah.
Last job. I don't want to give the name of the company, but it's a donation area, a donation place, you know.
Yeah,
Donation
you
store.
collect.
So you
collecting all the donations.
We collect trash and sell it.
Oh, I was just
Yeah.
saying. I was like, are you collecting the sperm yourself, or are you just moving it around? Huh?
Sucks it through a straw.
I
Blindfolded.
I test it.
Yeah, we don't use gloves here.
Yeah,
Could you imagine Mike working at one of those places, though? Like halfway through, he's labeling them wrong. He just throws them all on the ground. Fuck it. His last impression is just a giant puddle of like weird grayish
Spoon
glass, soupy goodness.
glass spoo? But Yeah, it was what a first freaking day. I'll tell you that. I witnessed the biggest dude I ever seen outright cry because he got canned for threatening some 4 foot nothing little girl, basically that works there. So
nice.
he
Sounds like a
canned.
good guy.
Oh yeah, he was actually pretty cool until I found that.
Until
out.
that, yeah.
Into the whole domestic violence thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
They
that,
fired
though,
him?
That's the typical
Yeah,
Portuguese
they got
way,
rid
though.
of him.
right?
Well, he got quotation marks. He got suspended, but no one's ever come back from his suspension.
No,
for
fuck that
something
guy
like
anyway.
that.
then.
Yeah, but technically they have to suspend him first, and then all
Yeah.
that shit. They go through all that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So your first day they fired this guy. Were they just planning ahead, or was that?
yeah,
just a happy
look, we got
accident?
another big fat guy. Let's get rid of that one. We can't fit both of them.
He'll
in the
hardly even threaten you.
freaking- Yeah, exactly.
We got some big shoes to fill. You, Sarah, the 2 seats in the front.
The 2 seats in the front. Fucking assholes.
What's going on, Joe Horizontal?
I love my friends. It's fucking great. But then we had those training videos. I mean, hours and hours of
Yeah,
training
you
videos.
watched.
I
I mean-
3 days worth of training videos.
Fuck.
For
It
3
sucked.
days, you were
3
telling
days.
I was like, I thought,
It sucked.
I
It was
literally
terrible.
thought you were fucking training to be a crab fisherman in the Bering Sea
no
with the
shit.
amount of fucking safety videos you were having
Yeah,
to
the
watch.
safety was like half of it. Most, you know what I mean?
What was
Yeah.
day one video? Avoid the tall guy that threatens little women.
Yeah, right. His picture's actually on the training video cover. But fucking
Dave voiceover.
But it was so rare, man. Watched all those friggin' videos over and over of what not to do, and how to do it, and then watched everybody do the total opposite all fucking day.
Really?
All fucking day.
Yeah, there's the right way to do things, and there's the quick way to do things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, but no, it was good. It was fun.
Hey,
Man.
We got six people doing the job of two.
That
Basically,
two
everybody's
you
just
said,
walking
yeah.
around, looking at the floor, kicking dirt
Hey.
around.
Oh, I didn't realize you worked for the state.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Well, Dave, how was your week?
This week sucked. Work sucks. Well, highlight of my week is my little guy turned 7. He's
Nice.
excited.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
So he got this remote control car that can drive on the ceiling.
No, what? Where did
Yeah,
they sell it?
it's a super lightweight car. It's probably about.
Oh, it's got like little suction cup wheels, like
Yeah,
those
it's
sticky,
almost
those
no,
sticky wheels.
nope.
Like
It's got a fan, like a vacuum
fan.
underneath it, so it sits flush to the ceiling.
really?
To vacuum it. Yeah, he's sitting on the couch, laying down, driving the car around on the ceiling. It's awesome.
nothing like teaching kids to be even more lazy. You can play with this lying down
Yeah.
and staring up.
I saw that. The military was working on something like that.
I wouldn't put anything valuable in this kid's
Mike's
hands. But
buying one tomorrow.
Oh yeah. I'll just wait for one to come into the store. Fly it out of there. I'll just fly it out.
Mike's a fucking. Next thing you know, we're gonna come to Mike's house next week. The TV's on the ceiling. He's sucking on the ceiling.
He's got the fridge up there. I'll open the door, but duck.
Yeah.
He's got a helmet on. What am I drinking?
Hamster tubes hooked up to the fridge and freaking shooting out fucking beers.
Oh shit.
yeah, so that was the highlight of the week. Did I mention I hate work right now? Just awful.
Yeah.
But my wife's been sick. Like I don't know what it is, but she sounds like she's breathing like Tony Soprano.
Did you rub her? Did you rub her with your bare foot?
Not that kind of sick. No. But not like late seasons Tony Soprano. Like he was trying to breathe through a straw through a pound of lard.
Yeah.
That Tony Soprano. Yeah, I feel bad for her.
He was breathing through a straw the last day.
His stent worked its way up.
He was breathing through a straw right up his nose.
When he died, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm shocked. Why?
Why?
Blasting rails in a hotel room with his son.
He also ate 42 pounds of shrimp before.
Yeah.
Holy
The
crap.
guy was like 90% cholesterol.
Yeah.
He was being held together by a breeze.
He was playing the
on
part,
him was
man.
just grease.
He was
And I love the guy, but come on.
No, yeah.
This doesn't qualify. When you got outlived by Junior Soprano,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
that dude's on TV now.
Yep.
Fuck that guy. Fat
Yep.
fuck.
It's a difficult situation.
Sorry, Dave.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So I'm laying next to Tony Soprano at night, and turns out my wife's favorite thing that I've ever done apparently is shit my pants at a wedding.
She loved that episode.
She's like, I never knew that about you. Like, she looked shocked, and I was like, yeah, well, that doesn't come up a lot in conversation. Yeah. She's like, I think that's the best thing I've ever heard about you. And I was like, I know where I stand.
Right? Yeah.
What's crazy is how alike our wives are. In 82 episodes of this show, Melissa has said, replay that once. And that was when you shit your pants.
Maybe someday I'll tell you guys at the time I shit my shorts, but that's for a different episode.
We got to work up to that.
Yeah, I'll get ease into that. That's a summer story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brad, what about you?
Well, I went to the doctor today expecting to get yelled at, and I did. I got yelled at hard. But I had something happen today that was even better. They did the blood work. Now, to be fair, I had a 6-month appointment 7 months ago.
Yeah.
And so I knew she was going to yell at me right from the outset. Then I came in a few pounds heavier than the last time, and by a few, I mean 12.
This is your diabetes we're talking about.
Yeah, well, I get it. But I figured I had it under control. I didn't need to go in so much.
Yeah.
I was wrong. But they did the blood. Now, I was expecting, that my blood was going to come somewhere between normal and gravy. And I wasn't really sure where it was going to go. And I actually lowered my blood sugar. And I got a phone call from this doctor that acted like my fucking long-lost mother.
Yeah.
Okay, yelling at me in the morning, not even 10 hours later going, sorry.
Yeah.
I guess I owe you one. Yeah, so I'm drinking good beer tonight. And choke on that, Doc.
Right?
That was it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm a little amped up. It's WrestleMania weekend. Maybe I'm being a little aggressive towards a doctor who's just trying to save my fucking life. Yeah. WrestleMania starts at 6 o'clock on Sunday. I expect all three of you to be there around never.
Yeah. Was that an invitation?
It is an invitation.
All right.
Mike, I expect you to come early.
I'm coming.
Never.
I'm
you guys are invited. 6
there.
o'clock. You guys want to come to my house? I will be in the basement with snack food and fun snack food this time because I proved my doctor wrong.
Yeah.
You just want to call back so she can yell at you.
This is a big WrestleMania. They're doing it in New York. They got ESPN is actually posting odds. Like Vegas has odds on a predetermined
Are you kidding me?
acting show.
That's fucked up.
But they're taking bets on it, and they're trying to bet on like what surprises are going to be there. Gronkowski is like a 5-1.
definitely be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a big deal. My bet is that I anticipate, because the women are headlining for the first time in the history of WrestleMania, the main event is a three-way women's match, including Ric Flair's daughter.
Sounds awesome.
Ric Flair's daughter looks like Ric Flair.
That doesn't sound awesome.
That doesn't sound awesome.
No, her like meaty lips look like Ric Flair's bulge. Then or now, it's irrelevant. I mean, she's
got a camel foot.
woo. Yeah, that's what it sounds like every time she puts on her thong.
Yeah. When the wind blows. Woo! She didn't even move her mouth.
But hey, empower the women.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a good time. I hope one of them shits themselves from nerves, though.
Yeah.
That's what
And I don't mean backstage, and I don't mean like Dave, where they can run to a hotel room. I mean like right in front of 90,000 people at Giant Stadium
And
on
just
Sunday.
keep going, keep wrestling.
They
too.
have to.
I
What are you going to
know,
do?
I
You're not
know.
going to like run out of the ring grabbing your ass.
I know.
The sin had been committed
Well,
already.
didn't we see that? Didn't we see that happen?
Triple H did that once. He
Wasn't
shit
there
right
a
in the
woman
ring.
a woman wrestler that did that like a month ago or something? Didn't you show?
She ripped a tampon out of herself.
Yeah, she tasted the tuna.
She went fishing and she hauled one in.
But other than that, not much is going on. I mean, we got some things I'll talk about later, some annoyances with our own T-shirt provider. Speaking of T-shirts, Craig, I really like your new cycle shirt. It looks really light and airy.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's not even there.
It's almost like I'm not even wearing it.
Yeah.
It looks like an exact replica of your chest.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Did you pay extra for the 12-month shipping?
Yeah. That's it. It said originally right on the thing 8 to 6 months shipping and handling.
a few months old.
8 to 6 months?
Yeah.
8 to 6 months.
But it's
That
back
should have
ordered.
been, that should, I was gonna say that should have been your first tip off right there when they offer you 8 or 6 month shipping.
Yep.
Finally, I do want to raise a glass. We haven't raised a glass at all yet, but I want to raise a glass to Kurt Cobain, who is 25 years dead today and just as talented today as he was then.
Yeah. Let's drink to that one.
I'll tip my cap to that.
Oh shit.
All right, Craig, close out the week in review, if you would.
Well, I may need an intervention.
No, there's no May.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
No
I've
shit,
been watching
please.
Birdemic consistently.
Like
just
the
constant-
original.
Yes.
You're not even delving into the sequels yet?
No, I saw the sequel. I watched it.
There's 2.
But yeah.
There's a
No,
third one, isn't
the
there?
third one's
It's
not
in
out
production.
yet.
Working
Not
on
out
it.
yet.
No.
They're
So
still
this
trying
is
to gather
happening.
funds.
Yeah, my goal is to be in it.
5 more tweets.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's just been one of those things. At the end of the night, I'm flipping through the channels, nothing on. I'm like, fucking putting Birdemic on. Bang, and I watch it. And then I watch it all the way through. I can't shut it off once it's on.
God.
So
Are
I'm
you
up all
finding
night.
nuances
Yeah.
that you missed the first few
Yeah.
times?
Yeah. So it's insane. But then the best and the thing that made my whole entire week was Alan Barr, the main actor from Birdemic, who has a locked.
Aren't air quotes big enough?
No,
When you say actor,
he's the lead actor for.
he is a person that
Birdemic.
happened to be in front of the camera.
Yeah,
at the time.
exactly. I wouldn't call him an
Now,
actor or anything.
hey,
But.
settle down.
He's gonna defend the shit out of him now.
He has a locked Twitter account. So I clicked follow and then sent him a message. And the next day when I got up, we were following him. Now I said this from the Needless to Say page.
Oh, okay.
So the next day when we got up, we were following him, but he followed us back. And so that was like made my fucking month.
It was like Christmas morning.
It was. I was like, yes.
Brad's giving me a look like, why?
And he
why
was
did you do
standing
that?
on the side of a freeway at the same time selling fruit to a bunch of day laborers going, yes.
Yeah.
Same way you are.
Yeah.
Do you think his
Yeah.
account's locked because he's afraid of the tweets?
Well, that's what it is. You
that's
know
gotta
he's
be
getting
what it is.
trolled like crazy.
Yeah, no,
Birdemic,
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
Twitter.
Brad got the joke.
So, but the tweet I got. Okay. I'm sorry.
Took you longer to get that
It
joke
did.
than to get your cycle shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, actually, I finally got the joke.
Yeah, that was only 4 to 2 months.
Yeah. But the other thing is, let me tell you something. I'm having a fence installed around my house, but I'm installing a small section myself to save money. And I wish I didn't save money because installing fence fucking blows.
Oh, it sucks.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Fuck that. Fuck that. And let me tell you something. I had to chip through concrete today to dig a post hole. Now, I'm going to say this Egyptians were fucking breaking rocks with rocks. Fuck that. Aliens.
You believe it more than ever now.
Yeah, because it took me for fucking ever to get through a 4-inch piece of concrete with fucking modern day tools.
See, your problem was you missed the environment. You need to have Sanjay over you, whipping you while you're trying to dig for the rocks. That would motivate you properly.
And if you listen carefully, you can hear Sanjay going, that's not in India.
Yeah. No, but I was like, fuck that, man. This sucks. It was ridiculous. I'm like, how'd they do this with bronze tools? That shit's like soft as fuck.
They were motivated by whips
Yep.
and plague. You know, they
Death.
wanted to get shit done. They had nothing else to do.
They wanted to eat.
But I really wish you just ended that whole segment at fucking Egyptians and just went right to the next topic.
Yeah.
But it was definitely aliens. I believe that guy with the fucked up hair.
So I guess that's kind of what we're doing tonight, right?
I had one more thing that came up today, and it's Keanu Reeves. Now, he may not be the greatest actor to walk the face of the earth.
There's no
And
man.
He's not even
You know.
close.
That was pretty strong praise coming from a guy who got excited about Alan Baugh.
I know, right?
He's awesome.
His name doesn't even have a hard consonant to latch onto. I just got to go Alan Baugh and just let it trail off.
He's awesome. I love the guy.
He's not listening. Stop getting
But-
your dick in a wad.
But one thing I have to say about Keanu Reeves. This is a guy who's, you see him, he lives in New York. He's constantly on the he takes the subway everywhere he goes. There's video of him giving up his seat to women, elderly. He's a normal, respectful guy. And there was a story this week. He was on a flight. They were supposed to land in Los Angeles. It got diverted. They landed somewhere.
He was going
about,
from Northern Cal to Southern Cal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they got diverted, and they landed. They had to land at some airport that was about 2 hours away.
It was like a
And
regional airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the delay was longer than it would take to actually drive there. So he rounded up transportation for everybody that was on the plane.
And rode with them.
And then rode with them. And then on the way, he's on his phone. And as they're driving through towns and places, he's reading off the populations of the towns when the town started. He's like just sitting there. He's like, this town was like, he was like a tour guide. He did it. And he did it for 2 hours. And he took pictures with everybody and then went on his way.
Wow, that's excellent.
No, it is. You know what? The guy's a good guy.
Yeah,
the guy,
he's
when he
normal.
filmed the Matrix movie, there was one of the crew, the daughter had cancer, and the crew doesn't make as much money as you think they do. They make it. It's a normal job, just like anybody else has got a job anywhere else. And he gave his entire salary for that movie to that family, and
That's awesome.
and he convinced a few other people too as well.
Whoa.
Well, no,
It
but
would have been great if he stopped somewhere around Van Nuys
Like the Circle
and
K.
went to the Cameron's Irish Pub.
yeah, right.
And well, just take like 10 minutes and film Birdemic 3.
Yeah,
I mean, not that we want to step on Alan Baugh's toes. I know Craig's going to delete all this because he
no.
just worships this
With
motherfucker.
bad mouth
I
and
love
bah.
this guy. I love Bah. No, but that's all I wanted to say about it, because especially with the new Bill and Ted is in production, there's been a lot of people talking shit about those. The guy's a good guy, man.
He's a good guy.
He lives a normal life. He doesn't
Yeah.
live. I mean, getting on the subway is one thing, but he doesn't have an extravagant apartment.
No.
He's very nice to people. He'll stop on the street, take photos, but he never creates a scene.
Nope.
He will purposely avoid crowded areas like weddings and things because he doesn't want to
He
distract
doesn't
the
want to
people.
distract from the event.
He
that's
gets
going-
it. He
Yeah.
gets it. All we've ever asked for on this show from celebrities is to be normal. If you really break down everything we've asked and talked about.
That's what I was kind of getting at. This is the one guy who Keanu Reeves is, as much as a lot of people don't say he's a great actor, he's as famous as any other actor.
Yeah. He's been in some iconic
He's
roles.
been iconic roles, and I like a lot of his stuff that he's done.
You could point to a lot of what he's done that's shaped how movies were made for 5 to 10 years
Yes,
afterwards.
yeah.
You look at
The
Bill and
Matrix.
Ted's one, Speed.
Speed,
He
definitely.
set a new tone for action movies.
Yep.
The Matrix was
how
out of,
many times did we hear, oh, it's like Speed on a boat. It's like Speed on
Yeah.
a train.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
was
Speed
always
on this.
it's like Speed with birds.
Yeah.
It's like Speed. It's just like Speed, dude.
It's like Speed in
yeah.
an old van hit by napalm.
So this is he's done a lot of good, but I mean a lot of good movies but everybody shits on his acting
Yeah.
and stuff. Whatever. I think he's fine. He's okay.
Yeah, he's the
You know?
anti-Steven Seagal to you, then. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
If you
But
actually break down
he
Keanu
is-
Reeves, he has one character. He plays himself.
Yeah, he plays himself.
Most actors today are doing it.
Yep.
George Clooney's the worst offender.
Oh,
He's
big
always been
time.
that way. He's awful.
Nicolas
He
Cage.
is awful.
Nicolas Cage
Nick
is
Cage, I
beyond.
think, makes fun of himself now, and that's okay.
Well, because he
Keanu
has
Reeves-
no choice. He's going to pay his taxes.
But what do you think? But do you really think Keanu Reeves at this stage of his career said, "You know what? Let me call Bill S. Preston Esquire and let's get the band back together"? No,
people
but
wanted it.
he's doing it for the fans.
Yep.
And you know what? There's going to be a healthy paycheck in it, and
Yep,
so he can
of
support
course.
his charitable lifestyle the rest of the way.
Yep.
But like I said, the reason we get on celebrities when they die and even when they're alive is because they act like jackasses.
Yes.
This guy's not a jackass.
No, he's not. He's
So-
just a good guy.
You get a hat tip, unlike Kurt Cobain.
Yep.
Okay, a jackass. What's left of him? Still a jackass.
Yeah. Yep.
I assume they cremated him. And then,
Yeah, but
by
there's
burning
still
that wall.
still a bunch of pellets in the friggin' ashes though.
But that was the last of my. I just saw it today, and I said, you know what? I want to bring it up because we do bash a lot of people, and I wanted to say, hey, the guy's a normal guy, man.
But why do we bash
And I like
people?
him.
Dave,
Because they
why do we
deserve
bash people?
bashing.
They're assholes.
They deserve
They
it.
deserve
Because
bashing.
the world's going fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're-
and he does. They all deserve it, and he doesn't.
Yeah,
Bottom line.
Yeah, the world, like Brad said, the world's going fucking insane, and most times the celebrities are driving
Yes.
or giving us the directions.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They have
Exactly.
the GPS to insanity.
yeah, not
Yep.
the GPS to the woods.
I mean, again, those those headlines I mentioned in the intro are real headlines. All happened in the last 7 days since we last recorded, and every one of them wasn't quite insane enough to make the show. Think about that.
Which is
crazy.
insane
That-
in and of itself.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Now, we're not saying we're above that. We're pretty idiotic guys.
Oh, we're in it.
But I just can't believe that things that actually make headlines in the world today, things that even as recently as 20 years ago, if that made a headline, we would be like, no. That
Yeah.
can't, that's not
That
real.
can't be real.
That
That's
can't
not
be
news.
possible. It's not. That's
That's
not.
Did
Or
you
the
get
other
that
way,
from the
yeah.
Inquirer?
Yeah, the Inquirer. What was that other one?
Sun?
The Sun.
Yeah.
That was the one where Darth Vader lived and he was actually had AIDS and got a blood
Yeah.
transfusion. That was arguably my favorite one. Where it's like they have the cure for AIDS. They're all Jedi. And his mask is actually a blood transfuser.
Yeah.
I was in the 5th grade when that came out. I
Had a
still.
big impact on your life.
It did.
Oh
It
my
did. What did I have for breakfast today? No idea. No idea. But this first one hit home. Kristaps Porzingis recently traded from the New York Knicks. It was a big deal in New York. I was actually in New York when it happened. And everybody in New York was freaking out. Why would they trade like the Great White Hope? Why would they trade this Latvian superstar, okay, from a team that needs a superstar? Why would you get rid of him? Well, a month later, we found out.
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis reportedly called a black woman that he was dating / seeing / boning senseless, my slave.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, he also beat her and raped her.
Yeah.
So I think the Knicks, rather than saying we condemn what you're doing, they said, nah, we'll trade you
We'll
to
trade him
Dallas.
and let someone else condemn
Well,
what you're doing.
I call my wife that sometimes during sex too, but we gotta say this woman was African American.
No one believes that. Not that you wouldn't say it that you had
That you
sex.
had sex.
Oh yeah.
But I think the Knicks played it right. Get rid of them, get something in return. They got some decent players.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Dallas is now becoming a hotbed for Eastern European sex offenders. And I'm okay with that.
Is that why you
well,
moved?
Dallas, the whole city of Dallas is the new Baltimore. Let's send the convicts there.
Well, it was funny to me at first. I was like, well, we need to see the evidence because was she extorting him? Because he said that's what was happening, and that's a possibility. But the fact that he was traded, like Brad said, immediately, there had to have been some kind of internal investigation that went on. And he's probably said things in the locker room,
Try to blame it on his broken English.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you look at him, you're like, oh, yeah, he did it.
He looks very rapey.
Yeah, he looks
Got that
rapey
rapey look.
and fucked up.
Everyone in his family looks like they were in Moonraker. every one of them. No, I mean, I'm not making fun of Eastern European. Fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, they've all got that look like I'm cold as ice and I will rape you with ice. And he's really a creepy guy, but I think what annoyed me was that they played it off as we had different opinions on the direction of the franchise. And what that means is the Knicks don't want rapists in the starting five.
Yeah.
That was it.
Racist rapists.
Well,
yeah.
You guys don't think it had anything to do with his knee blowing out right before he got traded?
I think he was fragile, which he learned after the woman got on top of him.
It's ridiculous, man. This happened 2 hours after he blew his knee out.
Yeah.
2
He
hours
didn't blow out
after
his dick though. Let him go have some fun. I don't really care. The guy was a good fucking player, and he probably will be in Dallas. But it was clear that the New York spotlight and all of the temptation in New York wasn't
San
going to.
Quentin.
You can imagine a 7'1" blonde Latvian showing up in San Quentin prison.
He is definitely an athlete though. Anybody that could blow out his knee and 2 hours later rape a chick, fuck yeah. Fuck. And anybody,
I just see a Gatorade commercial. Him rolling out of bed. Some
Blue
woman
sweat.
It's splattered on the wall behind him.
He puts on that Brett Favre knee brace.
As long as he does that one thing they do in every Gatorade commercial, though, where he grabs the bottle, wipes it across his forehead, and goes, ah.
Yeah. And then throws the empty bottle at the girl crying in the bed.
oh man, I mean, none of us motherfuckers around the table could fucking rape his ham sandwich after blowing out his knee. Never mind a person.
And as I told you earlier in the week, I have never had a ham sandwich that wasn't consensual. None of that sweet bread, though.
Oh my God.
Chafes.
The last 3 minutes shouldn't be funny.
No, they shouldn't.
No,
It's hysterical.
That's terrible.
So my prediction, Porzingis comes back next year, shakes it off, plays half a season in Dallas, then rapes a cowgirl. And then we're going to find out just what Dallas justice really is.
Yeah.
So I think the guy's got issues. I don't think he's entirely guilty. I don't think everything is going to be as she's saying it is.
No,
No.
Well, that's why I was saying, because there was no physical evidence presented. I'm not taking his side. I'm just saying, but he was saying she's just trying to extort me because I broke up with her or whatever. So you gotta kind of see
exactly
how it goes, because that shit happens all the time.
Oh, extortion
too.
constantly.
You know what I mean?
The
So-
fact that he was not an American
Yeah.
makes him an easy mark.
So, which also makes it, in the sense that 2 hours prior he did blow his knee out, you know.
Yeah.
So was he that aggressive about it? Like, you know what, I need to fuck. Like, you know, like, so it makes you think.
It's all the drugs he was
That's
on.
why I was saying it's tough to see where it's going. So you
in
have
my
to
opinion,
see.
where there's smoke, though.
No,
I really believe.
Don't get me wrong.
there's
I don't
smoke,
think
there's rape.
I'm not saying.
Only if you're going fast enough.
Oh my God.
Slow down. You're gonna blow out your other knee.
That joke is so old. Do you smoke after sex? I've never looked. Next topic, please.
Yeah, let's move on. That went so.
Let's talk about intelligent people.
Okay.
What do you say? We have no flat Earth headlines. So what about anti-vaxxers?
Oh, they're brilliant.
Fucking geniuses.
They are.
Well, let's see how
Because
brilliant they are.
The
Craig,
internet said it. It must be true.
and the internet said that headline. Read it out loud, my friend.
Anti-vax mom wouldn't take her sick toddler to the hospital, so police intervened.
Well, the police were right.
Yeah. Now, when I read this, I watched the police go. There's a video.
Yep. It was body
They
cam
kicked the
footage.
door in.
went
Guns drawn.
Full SWAT team.
Oh, like SWAT team.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with that.
Right.
What did they have? What did they have? Freaking needles in their holsters and shit.
No, they went to go. They went to go get the no.
Vax that kid! Stat!
Yeah.
It's got a bandolier full of flu shots.
No, but my thing was, I get it. They had to, because the kid had 105 degree
105.
temperature.
But-
105.
That's ridiculous.
That's near death.
That's, yeah.
You're dying at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So when the doctor realized they weren't bringing the kid to the hospital, he called the police.
Right.
He was like, listen, this is bad.
Yeah. They took him to see the doc. He said, take him right to the hospital. They never went.
They never went.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
So the police went to the house. But the thing was, they had 2 other children. So now these 2 other young children are sitting on the couch, coloring books or playing video games or whatever the fuck they're doing. And now cops are kicking the fucking door in, guns drawn, screaming.
Yeah, because their brother has a fever.
Yeah, and at first, they did knock on the door, and the husband wasn't letting them in. So then they went in full bore.
Oh,
but
that's
still,
different. Yeah.
it would have. There was. I think there was a way to diffuse the situation a
I don't
little
think
better.
so. I got to disagree with you. My kid's got 105 fever, and my wife's not letting him outside. If I'm a cop and a parent, I'm busting that fucking
Well,
door.
yeah, no,
That
and
kid's
I
an
get
innocent
that.
victim here.
Don't get me wrong. I agree 100% with what they did, but let me tell you something. They could have just busted the door down and not, but they went in guns drawn.
Well, they tried everything already.
You know,
I would do
think
it too.
I would have just kicked the door in and then just
Yeah, but you
beat the
can't
husband
do
with
That's
the
Yeah,
it.
but you don't
fucking-
know.
You know,
The husband's already not opening the door,
Yeah.
so he's already. You know what I mean? He could have a weapon.
it
on the
needed
other
to be
side.
done.
They
It
have
needed to
have
be
their guns
done.
drawn.
I'm not faulting them. I'm just saying it could have. I think it could have been handled a little different. That's all I think. But I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not saying I don't agree with it. The kid needed to get to the hospital. Get the fucking kid to the hospital.
Agreed.
Bottom line.
The parents fucked up because they didn't take care. They
'Cause they
didn't
did-
look out
yeah.
for the kid.
Yeah.
They also, depending on what was wrong with them, potentially put other kids or other people
In
at
danger.
risk.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time,
There
I
are
think
the
the cops
two
were a little
children-
aggressive.
Yeah.
There's a family in there. They go in guns drawn.
You just traumatized the other 2 kids big time.
Not to mention that it doesn't take like split second. They come in guns drawn. Someone flashes across the room. Shots go off. It doesn't take much.
All right,
Yeah.
but I'll agree with that. But the rest of it, I can't agree with. What are you guys talking about? Do you know what else traumatizes kids?
Everything.
The death of their brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I know. I get that. But like he said, what if the father was like, next thing they're gunning the father down in the fucking
Well,
living
maybe
room.
open the fucking door next time. When
Well,
4 police
no.
that have guns on them show up
Yeah.
on your doorstep,
No.
you do your civic duty and you open the fucking door.
gun-
I
gun's
agree.
drawn.
I agree that it's done and the kid got help. You know, and like they brought the kid to get help. That needed to be done. Bottom line, I'm not denying that. And fuck those parents.
Yeah.
And they took the kids immediately. They took the other 2 kids away immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
imagine how traumatized them 2 are going to be. I hope I don't get sick. I hope I don't get sick. I hope I
Yeah.
don't get sick.
No, they've been
Like, what's gonna
brainwashed.
happen?
They're thinking that the doctors are going to make them sick
Yeah.
because they have been trained to believe that vaccinations are going to give
Yeah,
them
by-
autism.
by-
Do you know what else is bad?
By 2 parents.
Death.
Yeah.
By 2 parents that are vaccinated.
Yeah.
Well, they all are.
That's what
Well, you have to be vaccinated to be an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
Because the only way to get rid of anti-vaxxers, I said this years ago, is to let them have their way.
Yep.
And they'll wipe themselves out. Okay, the
Yep.
average age in this country was what, 35, 40 years old up until the turn
Yeah.
of the century.
Until vaccinations
Okay,
came
and
out.
then vaccinations came out and everybody was really living a much healthier, longer life.
Well, somebody posted a picture the other day on Facebook, and it was a picture of a kid with it was like chickenpox or something, you know, all red dots on its face, and it said 1 week of this is better than a lifetime of this, and it showed a kid laying in bed that was probably in his teens with a diaper on and all fucked up, and I looked at it and I was like, well, polio doesn't last a week. You know, that was my comment. Polio doesn't go away in a week.
You saw that on the internet?
Yeah,
It was true.
yeah, but that's I am so against pharmaceutical companies, big time. I am, but there's a certain thing that I mean, vaccinations are they work. It's just one of those things.
But the
It
idea
wasn't-
that they cause autism is always been the argument. And everybody's like, they cause lifelong problems. You know, it happens in 0.1%. And do you know what else causes autism? Life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, environmental factors.
environmental
A
factors.
lot
yep.
of things go on. Genetic misfires. Things happen.
And I've said this
A
is
growing population.
This show does it too.
I've said this prior to this. How many? They say that the autism rate has gone up. how many kids were undiagnosed?
Yeah, exactly. They don't actually know.
We've talked about this before,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. We've talked about this. So the undiagnosed is ridiculous in a ridiculous amount. So it's not fucking causing autism.
No.
It's not.
I got a real problem with this whole subject, man. I take the anti-vaxxers like you take the flat Earth people.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
it's sickening.
It's kind of
I
the
had
same.
a run
if
in
you
an old
think
friend of
about it.
mine. She's an anti-vaxxer.
yeah.
And her Facebook page, my wife commented on it a few years ago, and it turned into this flame war where I was sending private messages and threatening. And like finally, my friend was like, okay,
Sending
can we
needles.
all cool out? But the truth of the matter is they're fucking wrong.
You're not going to win.
Okay, you're not only you're not going to win,
You're
your kids aren't going to be
endangering other
around.
people's kids. You're endangering other people's kids.
Get that fucking kid out of my kid's school.
Yeah.
I got enough germs to worry about without your kid bringing fucking rickets
Schools
in.
are gross. They're just kids that
Wicked
fucking
bad.
constantly sick and snots and fucking.
Do you know, I say
coughing
let 'em
and
live.
Disgusting.
Send them to Idaho.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, fuck potatoes and Napoleon Dynamite. Who gives a shit about Idaho? Just fuck them. Send them there. Okay, send them. All the fucking anti-vaxxers can live in that really tall, skinny part at the top.
What about potato
Okay,
chips? We need potato chips, though, man.
that's it. And then let them die from like cold breezes and like scurvy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
and,
inject them
like
with-
like Little House on the Prairie. Let them live like the fucking Ingalls family.
I was thinking like Oregon Trail.
Okay, yeah, you have died of dysentery and stupidity, and you because everything for them, the words you say to the food you eat, all shits out your ass.
Yep.
Fucking stupid. And I wish they were like the Ingalls because I hope you have a blind older daughter.
Oh, Craig makes a point though. There's if you boil it down, there's some greater good there. It's not just for your kid. It's
No,
for everybody.
it's for everybody.
That's the thing you got to think about.
That's
now.
that's
You
where it's
know?
at. It's
Are there iron lungs lying around now?
Do you know where there are? In the tall, skinny part of Idaho.
There are diseases now starting to come back. I mean, I was against vaccinating and stuff because I
Because you were vaccinated.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, exactly.
Mike just decided he's gonna smoke through all the disease.
Yeah, screw it.
the
But
cancer
now
kill
it's
it.
like all these diseases that were
You have
supposedly
to.
eradicated are starting
coming
to
back.
slowly creep back.
I mean, what's next?
Like New York.
Oh, sorry. Fucking little Timmy's not coming to school today. He's got a touch of the consumption.
Okay, Mrs. Ingalls.
You know?
to the consumption.
Let's get Doc Jones on this. Send him to Boise. Send him to Boise.
But I mean, it's ridiculous. It's avoidable stuff. And now, Mike, you already brought this up, and I cut you off.
It's all right. Used to it.
Read this next headline.
Why New York hasn't contained the largest and longest measles outbreak in decades. Now, that's mostly in New York.
It's fucking frightening. It's New York City.
New York City.
Okay, this is the most concentrated collection of people in the world.
It's
Other
the
than
fucking-
Tokyo.
It's like patient zero
Yeah.
for the world.
Right.
And they're like, well, it's on an island.
Yeah.
We're good.
That makes it all right.
But New York can't handle this because New York is going through two things right now. Not only is there the anti-vaxxer cunts that are fucking dominating the West Village. Okay, they're walking around with their hairy armpits going, no, my kid doesn't need those things. She's going to live a long, fruitful life based on, prayer and hope.
And grapefruits and fucking leaves.
That's
And
right.
it's
Like,
kill weed.
is there kale? Is kale involved? Oh, no, wait, kale was last week. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Right,
It's
it's always-
palm fronds now.
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're grinding up palm fronds and sprinkling them on our fucking hairy vages.
That'll do it.
Fuck those guys. But the bigger issue is, on top of that, there's a rising healthcare cost. Nobody in New York wants to admit that they can't afford to live there.
Yeah.
So when you got the fact that you got anti-vaxxers mixing in with people who can barely afford to go to the doctor, you not only have patient zero, but then you've got all of the perfect targets.
Yep.
You've got children who didn't get flu shots. You got children who aren't getting regular medical care, and you've got basically a blank canvas for disease.
Yeah.
And I go there once a month.
All right, though, we need to backtrack on this because we're coming fresh off the anti-vaxxer thing, so we're just fucking freaking out right now.
We're all fevered up.
Like everyone's got measles and fucking polio. We need to chill out and actually touch on this in a real sense.
Well, don't
because-
touch.
Well, don't touch.
Talk from a distance.
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say point at them from across
Wear
the
those
street.
masks like Japan. They all wear masks.
Well, they did the math, and there's a lot more measles in New York than there is in Tokyo.
Of course they did
So the math
math.
must be working.
Of course they did the math. He says.
Now, I'm gonna say something right now. Is every time I've been to Disney World, right, and I've gone a lot over the past few years. Every time I leave, and I'm conscious of it, I constantly carry like antibacterial.
Wipes. Oh.
No, like hand, like
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer.
hand sanitizer. But every time I'll get a cold. Every time I leave, every time, it doesn't matter.
It's the plane.
It's a fucking billion people. Yeah, it's the plane and the billion people that are there with all this shit. Now, this is a cold. This is the measles. This isn't a joke.
Something we have vaccinated against for going on, 55 years?
Yeah.
Give or take?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it take.
I'm not willing to do the math right now.
No, give it
But this
take.
is a disease that we had under control.
Yep.
Okay, if somebody came out today and said, hey, you know what? We might not be able to cure cancer, but we can prevent you from getting it if you do this. Wouldn't everybody in America do it? Measles can fucking kill you.
Yeah.
They're not just dots on your skin. These
Yeah,
aren't
it's not
chicken pox.
It's not chicken pox. Yeah.
They can fucking kill you. They fuck with your liver. They fuck with your breathing. They
They make
fuck
you
with everything.
sterile. They make you sterile.
Well, in this case, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fact that we're just dismissing it, okay? And again, this usually happens in little pocket communities in like Northern Virginia, wherever Matt lived. You know, Idaho. But ultimately, it was these were niche things.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing niche about New York
Because
City.
even with the vaccination, you could still contract. You know, the vaccination might not work.
Right.
There was the count of measles, like someone getting the measles, was so low.
It works on percentages.
so low.
But to Brad's
Yeah.
point, we're not talking about this isolated pocket.
No,
of
but that's
society.
that's what
It's
I'm
New
saying.
York. Everybody goes. This is a global stop for everybody.
It's a destination. It's, again, I said it before, it's the most concentrated area of people.
The
In
UN
America.
is there.
Well, not in the neighborhoods we're discussing.
No,
but like I have to backtrack and correct myself. I said it was just New York City. It's not. It's actually in Rockland County. It's about an hour north, give or take traffic. And it's a more suburban community, but it's still very concentrated. There's house on top of house, and it was an Orthodox Jewish community in question. Now, that wouldn't be newsworthy on its own, except for the fact that when it did show up in New York City, it was also in traditionally Orthodox Jewish neighborhoods of Brooklyn and Queens, including Borough Park in Williamsburg, which is an absolute hipster hotspot right now. Okay, or at least it was the last time I went. You know, things change there. Who knows?
So what do hipsters and Orthodox Jews have in common?
Anti-vaccine.
Measles.
They don't like to vaccinate.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is not. So the measles isn't racist,
No.
right? It's not like I'm going for the Jews this week. That's not. You know what I mean? Like that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
If the measles said I'm going for the hipsters, I'm behind them with a flag. Fuck them.
Go measles, go measles, go measles.
But there's a reason why it's showing up, as Brad said, in these pockets of communities in the
Just
Orthodox
attacks
Jewish.
people with braids
Yeah.
and handlebar mustaches.
Wash your hair. But there's a reason it's
That's
showing
how
up
it's getting
there.
transferred in little spit curls coming off the beard.
Coming off the high pro.
If you wear wool in the summer, you might be a conductor.
But that explains some of it because, like you said, they're both like Orthodox Jewish communities. So that somebody went to synagogue here, met family there, and they brought it back, and now you're bringing it to the city. Or closer to the city.
I don't know if you've been to Brooklyn. You can be in a neighborhood and then fall over and be in another neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually lived on the cusp of a different neighborhood. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm talking about New York.
Yep.
again. But anyway,
We
you
knew it was
can
coming.
actually go 2 blocks. And if you think measles doesn't know how to travel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
it's breathe on a rat.
I mean, but how do you control an outbreak in an area that's all Orthodox Jew when vaccinating is against their religion?
Well,
I mean,
don't know
doesn't
if it's
that go?
I don't know if it's against their religion, but I do know that they have very staunch beliefs that go against what contemporary society goes with.
Right.
And having lived with them and next to them, they do things their own way, and they don't want the modern world to invade what they do.
Exactly.
You know, they have their lifestyle, but I can tell you that they also do most of their work in Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
They're in the Diamond District. They're in the Garment
Yeah.
District. They're in all these mass market businesses. I mean, right down to the fact of you think about what they do. Everything they do touches other people, and I'm not not just figuratively.
Yeah.
No,
like they're
yeah.
making
Literally.
clothes, and
Yeah.
you know, you're telling me that if your kid comes to work with you on Orthodox, take your children to work day.
You're gonna get measles.
Get here at 5 a.m. Be back by sundown. Yeah, but
But I mean, that's a huge thing that I see coming over the horizon. A big time battle between religious freedoms and shit. That's a tough one.
Well,
man.
that's the thing. Is,
fucking tough
like
one.
you get like that those people, like we talked about before, with the sun with the 104-degree temperature. They were like, well, we didn't want to. 105. They're like, we don't want to bring them to the doctors because we don't believe in that. But you did bring them to the doctor earlier.
Yeah.
You didn't want to bring them to the hospital. You know,
Yeah.
and was it religious? You know, they claim it was religious. Like, we'll let God heal them.
are they
That's-
you know,
Christian scientists?
I don't know.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Christian scientists, basically, you can go to a hospital for a broken bone, but you can't go for anything medicated or disease.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll set a broken bone because that's not something God can heal that easily.
They're not
'Cause
putting
he's
it
God.
Oh, really?
Yeah, God created the world. He can't fix your
Yeah.
femur.
Yeah.
All right, but when
me
it comes to
about it.
disease or anything that requires medicinal intervention, they don't go for it. And that's how so many Christian Scientist kids die. James Hetfield from Metallica, his parents were Christian Scientists, and he's written a song about it on every album.
Yeah.
Hates his fucking parents, and I would too, because they're awful people.
No, that's,
But Dave
it's-
had a point, and I stepped on it.
No. I was going to say Christian Scientist is, as far as I know, is not really recognized religion like Judaism is, which is why you don't see a SWAT
Yeah.
team knocking down the doors of a Hasidic family who's got a kid with a fever.
yeah.
There's a difference.
No, yeah, there's a difference.
So there's
yeah.
religious implications that go beyond just an individual family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of the issue. So but the problem is, at what point or where do you draw the line between respecting religious beliefs and
Protecting
the greater good?
population.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
And in a place like New York, as Brad said, where everybody goes, everybody touches everything from everyone else.
It's a hub for
yeah,
the world.
for everything.
It's
the
the
world.
People,
world's
information,
fabrics.
disease. Yeah.
Okay, they could be creating dresses and shirts for people that have measles on them. If you think about it, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm making it a very extreme point.
No,
and it
yeah,
almost sounds like
it's-
I'm joking, but I'm not.
No,
It
it
can
is
happen.
it's a stretch, but it's not out of the realm
It's
of possibility.
also on their way to work. They're riding the same subways as everybody else.
Yep.
Even people in Rockland County, again, an hour north of New York City.
Cough
but
in your hand, hold onto the railing, and
that's
walk
it.
out.
It's still a commuter
Your
rail.
nuts are swollen the next morning.
That's it. You're still on a commuter train.
Yep.
And yes,
No
I don't
big
know
deal.
if their nuts are swollen.
No big deal to
Not
me.
allowed to talk about it. They fuck their women through a sheet.
I mean, 214 confirmed cases. This was last week. Who knows what it is this week? But fucking,
probably
at least
higher
one.
now.
At least one of those people had to have contracted it that way. that
Well, you know,
say.
you made a good point on the outline. My father has been going to New York for medical treatment.
right.
Do I want him in a hospital where there's a sudden measles outbreak?
shit.
Obviously, a hospital's full of disease anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they're going to quarantine this guy
But
when he comes
something
in.
that fucking severe.
I know.
This is something that is totally controllable.
Yeah.
Can we just get ahead of this?
And it was under control
Yeah.
for years.
for years until the internet came out and someone said, "Hey, guess what?
That's right.
I think
Yeah.
that this is connected to this. I think there's no fucking medical proof.
No, it took one guy lying about
Yeah.
vaccines causing autism,
Yes,
and
that's
this
all
is
it
what
that,
happened.
And that guy was pulled. His medical license was pulled. He was sued for lying, for writing a false report.
fabricated the results.
Fabricated the
but
results.
Jenny McCarthy got behind it.
Yep.
And well, that matters.
I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in.
I get being concerned about being like having your children injected with things and stuff like that. I get that because I'm the same way when it comes to, like, doctors like, oh yeah, I want you to take this medication, you know, go pick up, and I'm like, yep, and I'll fucking throw the prescription right out in the parking lot.
That. I'm like, give me 2 of those prescriptions. I'm taking all kinds of pills.
I'm
Whatever
like,
you
nope.
want me to take, dude.
Unless it was for something serious, you know, if they're like, oh, you know, your liver or something like that, that's different. But it's for certain thing, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, no, I'm all set.
All right, but is any of those prescriptions going to cause a potential outbreak in the flooring community of Greater Rhode Island?
No, but what I'm saying, is I can relate to people not wanting to have something injected into their kids, and so I get that.
All right, so the fever reaches 102.
But
You taking the pill?
But there's a yes.
Okay,
That's
because
what I'm
there's a
saying.
common sense argument.
There's a
that I'm
common
going
sense.
for.
That's what I was getting at. Is there's a common sense thing to it. If my doctor said to me, if you don't take this medication, you're gonna fucking die, I'm taking it. If he says to me, oh, this will make you more comfortable for the next fucking week until it goes away, I'm not gonna take that. I'm all set. Just get rid of it because it's gonna probably hurt my liver.
Meanwhile, I bring Craig a vial of CBD and he's dropping it like it's fucking Snapple.
Yeah, no doubt,
It's
right?
fucking the best.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
worried about hurting his liver. He's buried 15 beers since we started this show.
Oh, no, the listeners know. They can hear it.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, naturally, yes, I guarantee you that everything on this fucking planet, everything that ails us on this planet, can be cured by a fucking plant on this planet. It's just facts.
I saw that movie.
You know, no, but it's true. But it's
Donnie
the
Wahlberg was in
combinations
it,
of those-
actually.
It's the combination of those things that nobody knows. It's the synthetic shit and the additives and all that stuff.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
You know,
Okay, nobody is championing the pharmaceutical
No,
community.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not championing the pharmaceutical.
We've already
company.
said on this show that we think most of the diseases out there are cured, but there's no money in cures. There's only money in treatment.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I said it to my doctor this morning. I said, there's a cure for this, right? Talking about diabetes. And she goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, there's obviously a cure, but you don't get paid to cure me.
To cure
Right.
me. Yeah.
And
Pay
she
you to
looked at me
come-
like
keep
I had
coming
6
back.
heads, but she didn't say no.
She didn't say no. 'Cause
Yeah.
Of course there is. There's documented cases. I mean, shit. Go back to cancer. That guy in the 30s was curing cancer with fucking sound waves.
Holy crap!
No, there was, and it was a legitimate.
And you know what
thing.
else?
It was,
Palm fronds.
yeah. No,
Fucking
there
Sean
is-
Connery cured it with
it was,
ants.
It was a little. It was
that was
no,
Ozzy
yeah,
doing lines of
that's right.
ants.
No, it was a legitimate thing, and it was working. It was killing a lot of cancer because it was using the same frequency that your body runs. Your body and cells run off frequencies, and this guy was using a certain frequency that was actually destroying the cells, and he did it for 2 years. That he was curing people of specific cancers, not all cancer, but he was, and all of a sudden
He disappeared?
he died normally. The guy had a heart attack or whatever it was. He died.
Sound
but
wave.
all of it, all of his
cells were
all of
freaking
his
vibrating
research,
so fast.
suddenly all of his research is just gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't mysteriously killed. The guy died. He was old. He was in his 70s. He died of natural causes or whatever it was, but his research is gone.
It's like when Tesla died, all the shit disappeared.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Conspiracy.
It's like you can't.
They've got 90 ways to shrink a tumor, but no way to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
bullshit.
Okay, it's all bullshit.
I mean-
and measles should have been cured a long time ago too.
It
And
was.
we thought, well, no, it wasn't cured; it was prevented. That's the difference. A vaccination prevents it from happening, but it's very clear
Yeah.
that nature will win if you give it a fucking road to do it. And that's what's
The
going
flu.
on here. Our stupidity as a collective whole and our insanity, to keep in theme with the episode, is letting people in. We're creating Swiss cheese when we had a very good block of cheddar. And it's
Yep.
really bothering me, man. It's really
It's
fucking
starting
wearing
to bother
on
me
me.
too.
No,
I mean,
it's the
seeing
truth.
all these fucking stories, it's ridiculous. But again, in some of these communities, they're actually thinking about charging a principal for these schools. Every child you let in that's not vaccinated, they're going to charge the principal himself.
Well, if it originated in
$2,000.
a
Well, how
school,
about this? How about this? Put him in the fucking in another room with the fucking peanut butter allergy kid.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Let them eat lunch at a separate table.
and I'm not against the peanut butter allergy kid. I get it. There's kids with peanut butter
I am.
allergies.
I love peanut
but
butter.
what the fuck? Why?
If your kid can be taken down with a Lance sandwich cracker, you got bigger issues, kid.
when I was a kid, I don't remember through All my years of school, I do not remember anybody fucking.
All my years of school, listen to him.
All three of them.
No, all three of them. No, I don't remember anybody having to fucking not bring a peanut butter sandwich to school or label it or do anything.
Wait,
like
which
that.
one though? Was
It
that senior
it was
year
done.
1 or 2?
Yeah.
But Craig, but back to Craig's point. That's a good point.
But
that
I
you
don't
just
remember
made.
that.
The internet has.
It's not the internet.
It's
This
not
goes
the
back
internet.
and
No,
further.
no,
No,
there's
but I'm-
kids with
but-
peanut allergies that it'll fucking kill them.
Oh
in a
yeah, I
second.
guarantee.
All right,
And that's horrible.
What? Okay, your grandfather let you fall out of a tree.
Yes,
Your father didn't give a
obviously.
shit about you whatsoever.
Oh no, my
Pushed
father
him out of a
but
tree.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know much about your childhood, but I know that I wasn't wrapped in bubble wrap. Mm-hmm. And as a result, I didn't have a fucking peanut butter allergy.
Nope. I played in the dirt. I ate.
dirt.
I can tell you right now,
Bleeding
it's
peanut butter.
infectious in that you fall into that progressive parenting thing.
Well, how about-
I kept my kids out of the mud for most of it, and
Yep.
as a result, some of the shit that my kids get is probably avoidable because they hadn't been exposed to as many germs. Let's get
I
on
don't
a
get it not
let's get on a subject that we can all agree upon. It's a lot better than fucking
Oh.
vaccination talk.
Yeah, this is
It's
way
not
better.
that
Yeah,
good.
but it's still a mark of insanity for the world. Not so much that it exists, but the fact that we reacted the way we did. And that is, you can now buy denim panties for $315, and apparently Twitter can't handle that.
Yeah.
I'm going to step away for a minute. Gentlemen, have at it.
Well, I started off with I right away I was like, sweet, I love denim. Just ask Dave's wife.
She told me she's burning that jacket the next time she sees you.
Every time she comes over, she's like,
know.
I'm cold. Can I? So I always bring her a jean jacket.
Same one
And
every
she's like,
time.
what the fuck is this? I'm
Bring
like,
the
no.
jacket out for everyone, dude. When they get cold,
She doesn't even know I have 2 more. Consistently wear denim forever.
That's crazy though, man. I mean, these panties are going for like $315. It's crazy, man.
I don't
You
understand.
would think you're getting less material, it'd be a little less money, but
Now, can
no.
you imagine? My thing, all I was thinking about was, now when you were like young, dry humping was like fucking before you started fight, right? But you fucking tear your shit up on a zipper.
Oh yeah, hell
Can you
yeah.
imagine having 2 zippers? And they're just rubbing across each other like fucking hedge trimmers?
I don't think these panties were actually made to be worn under other clothes because what the fuck? I don't know. It's just fucking terrible.
I mean,
But
what
Wrangler needs to get in on this. The fucking W is already built in. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's already there.
the W's
Fuck
already
yeah.
built in.
We're all set.
I mean, I'm back. What'd I miss? I mean, I heard Craig talk a little bit about dry humping, which is terrifying in and of itself. But I agree with Mike. I don't think they were meant to like go under other jeans.
Yeah.
Like wearing like a Jordache diaper. I don't think it's really what they're going for here. But you ever lose a few pounds? And like, your jeans that used to fit suddenly are starting to rub a little bit.
Yeah.
And like the insides
Like
of your
these.
thighs. Like this happened to me at Comic-Con. Like the inside of your thighs start chafing. And they look like they dated R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Why were they wet?
Now imagine that on a thong rubbing up against your little onion knot there.
God.
Could you imagine that? And also think about the smell. The good thing about cotton is that it breathes. Okay, satin also breathes.
Yeah.
You put your face in a few pairs of panties in your life. At least most of us have.
yeah.
Okay, and I'm looking right at Mike.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But you stick your nose in there, and it's like okay, but it's not like offensive.
twice.
Imagine what your jeans are like on a hot August day.
I know, man. Right?
You've sat down a few times on a public bus. You've gone around. There's
Fucking swag.
There's an Orthodox Jew next to you with measles. You're just sitting there trying to keep your cool.
Your
But you
balls are
can't-
expanded and there's no room to stretch.
That's it. That's it. It's not what you call a breathable environment. It's a solid plastic sheet. It's got that little cutout for your nuts. They try to make it look like that's not what it is, but that's what it
It's
is.
definitely what it is.
Okay.
You know it.
You sit there and you're basically humping a seat, and the air conditioner is blowing, but it's not that cold.
But it's not doing anything.
But you can't wear shorts because you're on your way to a meeting. And then, okay, now imagine that in thong form.
Yeah.
Take her out for a date. Liquor her up in a hot, sweaty club for a couple hours. Make sure she dances. Make sure she dances a lot.
She's gotta move. Definitely.
Then
She's
go
gotta
home and Vidal Sassoon her all night long. That's actually hair product. I don't
I
fucking
want to
care.
see. I want to see chicks with giant bushes wearing these things. Fucking see those fucking those hairs twangling out the sides and shit. That's
Who
what
else
I want to
would
see.
be wearing them?
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck?
Nobody's
right?
wearing
Right?
Look like
Nobody's
a string
wearing
of
it.
Christmas lights through a bush.
No, it's funny. Is that company's made $325?
No,
because one person
350.
bought it. The girl that was wearing it when she walked out on the stage.
What,
That was it.
$10 for shipping?
Yeah.
6 to 4 months.
8 to 6 months shipping.
Oh yeah. 8 to 6 months. Yeah.
Do you know who's buying these things? Women who can't be recognized unless their legs are splayed on the roof of an IROC. That's your Aunt
80s
Misty.
chicks.
No, it's not. Oh. I had to reclaim that after the Vidal Sassoon joke. That's fucking hair care from the 80s, not a fucking denim brand.
That's fucked up.
No, but I mean, what? Yeah, that's just stupid.
Are those Bugle Boy thongs you're wearing?
But
Yes,
I
they
think
are.
It's, just,
it-
it's Canadian
just those
lingerie.
things. Just like when you see the girl walk out. I mean, going back years ago too. You know, you see the walk out on stage with the hat that's like 8 feet wide.
What,
You know what I mean?
What is
Like-
up with those shows? Who
Yeah,
the fuck
like
buys
those-
any of
those
those
fashion
that
shows.
clothes?
Nobody buys.
Who the
any of
fuck
it.
buys that clothes?
It's more about being an artiste.
I'm picturing the fashion show for these denim panties, and Don Imus is the fucking host. Fucking jean clothes.
Don Imus.
I don't know about those denim panties.
But think we can get a couple of kids to my ranch to do some work. Didn't he get buzzed? Like, wasn't he running something at his ranch?
No, yeah, but it's a
But
charity.
it was a charity thing.
It's a
but then
charity.
they realized that
Never,
all the
never
kids were
land.
working.
Yeah,
But
that's part of
yeah,
the
that's about
deal.
it. Like, we'll teach them how to run a ranch.
Well, they feed animals.
It was child labor. The guy was fucking.
He's not fucking stupid. He's not stupid.
They were making air Imuses.
He's not dumb. Definitely not.
Who is dumb, though? I know a few. I
Yeah.
know one guy.
Definitely one
He's
guy.
got billions of reasons that he can go out and be publicly
Yep.
dumb.
Is he really dumb, or does he just not give a shit?
I know. I think he's crazy. I think he's lost his mind.
I think he has lost.
It
his
started
mind.
with
Yeah,
his
why
name.
not?
Well, let's start with his name. His
Fucking-
name is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Now, let's
Speaking
be real.
Speaking of smell,
Yeah.
The headline is this: Musk. Nice touch. That's what comes out of those denim panties.
Elon Musk.
You want your crotch to smell like Drakkar?
Ude toilet. What? Why would people wear that?
Because they want to get a Paco Raboner. But anyway, Elon Musk. Elon Musk dropped a rap song, and I'm saying that in my best street lingo. He dropped a new single.
Yeah.
It was a rap song eulogizing a favorite of ours on this show, Harambe the Gorilla.
Yes.
Now, the timing is suspect.
Yeah.
Let's just open with it.
It was on the LP Get Coney.
He released this classic
Yeah.
on April Fool's Day. But if you're a billionaire that's looking to bring people to space and
Yeah.
improve rail travel and create the aero loop that will get you from like California to New York in like a day
Yeah.
on a train.
Not even. It's like hours.
Yeah, you're looking to ride, to create like the ultimate bullet train in the world, and you've clearly got genius in your blood. What possesses you, even on April Fool's Day, to say, you know what, guys, I've got billions to spare. I'm gonna go drop a fat beat about a dead gorilla, and then write these lyrics because I don't know if you guys have heard the song. Actually,
Yeah.
Craig, can you drop a little bit of the song in here?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think Elon Musk is going to sue us for our bounty.
No. Yeah. No.
Let's drop a little bit of it right here.
R.I.P. Harambe, sipping on some Bombay. We on the way to heaven. Amen. Amen.
And that lyric is the best part in the world
God.
because
That's
it's the
ridiculous.
catchiest fucking thing. It's better than Chocolate Rain.
Yeah.
Actually, has anybody out there heard Chocolate Rain in a while? Craig, can you drop in a little Chocolate Rain right now?
Of course.
Chocolate rain made me cross the street the other day. Chocolate rain
right, now you tell me which is catchier.
No shit.
Some skinny kid who breathes off mic going chocolate rain, or you got this one, R.I.P. Harambe, sipping
fucking
on some
ridiculous.
Bombay. You can't beat that. That's catchier than fuck. The man's so
It is
rich,
pretty catchy.
he's genius by accident.
Yeah.
Drop
Exactly.
the mic, Musk. No, really. Drop the fucking
I mean,
mic, dude.
it's insane. The guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He has lost his shit.
He can afford to be nuts.
yeah, exactly.
Fuck it.
Yeah, he can.
But I don't think he woke up in the morning and said, you know what, guys, I'm just going to embrace the crazy. I don't think he's all there.
No.
Like, he used to be all there.
I think he's
don't
got
know.
so much going on and so many different ways that he's like, you know what?
His brain's just
Just like, I'm going to do
all
this
over the
today.
place.
He's one
I'm
of those
gonna do
people.
this today.
He's always got something going on.
Yeah.
But I think in the last couple of years, he's had some shit kind of, I don't say go off the rails, but not go as planned. So his brain goes different places, and it's not as controlled anymore. So he's like,
Yeah, there you
fuck,
go.
he's all over the place.
Yeah, no, you're
All right,
probably
but
right.
how do you get from, you know what, I'm going to man the first ever mission to Mars and they're going to be the first residents of a Mars colony that I'm building, to writing a song about a dead gorilla in a
Because
zoo?
they're gonna send up gorillas first, dude. They're gonna send up gorillas.
It's going to be
first.
4 dead gorillas and Lance Bass from NSYNC.
It's bad.
That's it. I would love to see that flight.
and the Orthodox Jew community.
Joey Fatone does the countdown. Speaking of which,
Everybody, it's Joey Fatone, and you're listening to Needless to Say.
Nice.
I love how we're getting so much use out of all this audio.
Nice. That's
Actually,
fucking
you know
sweet.
what? We haven't heard from Bam Margera in a while.
no.
What's up? This is Bam Margera, and you're listening to Needless to Say.
There we go.
Fucking A, man. Fucking sweet.
I mean, honestly, I don't think we can say more about this song than the song already says about itself. But Elon Musk has more money than God
Yep.
and is probably crazier than people that believe in him.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I really hope the best, because I think some of Elon Musk's ideas are good. Like, for example, Tesla.
Yeah.
Okay, the fucking cars are great when they run.
The idea is great.
No, it's great.
Great
So-
idea.
Did you see that kid that hacked it to drive backwards? That was just, and Elon Musk threw him a shout out on Twitter, and
No shit.
And the police were like, "No, that's not cool." Like, no, he was driving it in reverse, but
Surprised you
like
didn't give him a
fully
job.
hacked.
Yeah.
Was it a person or was it a gorilla that was about to be shot in the zoo? He was
trying to get away.
He was making his get away from the zoo because kids are climbing the fence again, and you know what happens? They cross over into MySpace.
Yeah, I know,
Bad
right?
things happen.
Yeah.
No one understood help in sign language. They all panicked.
I wish he had done this about Bubbles.
Right.
R.I.P. Bubbles.
All right.
Wow, I'm so old. No one got that reference, huh? Right turn, Clyde.
No, I got it.
Oh, okay. You're old too. That's why.
Oh my God.
Awesome movie.
I
It
think
was
that-
an orangutan, though.
Orangutan.
Orangutan. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, well,
No
since,
one knows the movie.
all right. Since you're smarter than all of us and you like movies,
Damn it. Every which way but lose.
Yeah.
How
No,
do you
we
not know
get it.
that? You
real
never saw
simple.
that?
I don't know. I was getting laid in 1981.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
I was 4, but
You're not getting laid now.
You're not getting lead now.
I got more ass in 81.
I bet you did.
There was
His
some,
denim panties.
that's right.
Gorilla.
So was she. Me and her made a brush fire in the school bathroom.
Fucking zippers a sparking and shit.
We just sounded like corduroy.
2 pairs of shorts welded together.
I know, right?
That was the best come
Heated
on line in
zippers.
kindergarten. Let me see your garanimals. But I had a good segue in there, and you guys shit
We
all over
stepped
it.
all over it.
Sorry.
All right, but what I was saying is Dave is not only the smartest one here, but also the movie expert after what he subjected himself this week.
I did.
I want to thank you for taking one for the team.
Thanks, brother. Because I wasn't gonna fucking watch it.
So
Oh, man.
we haven't done a movie review in a while. I mean, we did Birdemic, but that wasn't a movie review. That was just like a weekend review.
Brad,
gone wrong.
Brad, don't get him going. Don't say the B word anymore, please.
It's
Look,
an
look, he's
ongoing
ready.
I got
He's
all
ready to
excited.
jump. I got all excited.
I'm going to watch this movie.
Okay.
Well, you might not. Let's hear his review.
Yeah,
So,
I'm gonna watch it.
All right.
can we get one more piece of audio, a little bit of like a film reel, to bring in Dave's first ever, needless to say, movie review?
Yes.
So when I saw the headline about this movie called Border, it's a Swedish-made independent film. I don't know if it's worth noting or not, but the director is an Iranian-born Swedish national.
Really? Oh man,
Which sounds like 7 jokes we've already told in this show.
goes right with
He
it.
sounds like the cause of measles.
Right, yeah. And he debuted the movie at Craig's Canes Film Festival.
Canes.
Cans.
No, Canes is accurate because that's what your brain feels like after you've seen this. So the movie's called Border. Now, the previews and the actors are made up to look like almost like Neanderthals or cavemen,
Yeah.
right? And I was intrigued. The reason it caught me is because the story was about a sex scene in the movie. And I think the story is about the most ridiculous sex scene ever filmed. Not because it was wildly inappropriate. It was just fucking weird. So these 2 caveman-looking people, right?
Explain weird to us.
Mike,
Okay, all right,
yeah,
brother.
sit down.
I'm sorry.
Tighten up your denim panties and relax.
Button your fly.
Right? So it's a serious movie, right? And I think the director was going for like kind of an introspective feel for understanding who you are, that
Like
sort of
James
stuff.
Nguyen with Birdemic.
No.
Oh, stop.
Can someone turn his mic off? So
Fucking a bunch of birds are gonna break in here in a second and fucking destroy you, kid. Watch out.
So the movie's about there's 2 main characters. Tina, who's the female lead, who's this kind of Cro-Magnon looking woman, and she works like border security. And she can kind of smell people's emotions. So she knows if someone's trying to hide something or they're scared, or, right? So it's an intriguing idea.
Yeah.
And you see her pull a few people out of like the security line, like, let me see your bag, and they're trying to smuggle shit in and whatever. She comes across this guy who has similar features to her.
She's like, let me see your bag.
Right, but you like that's kind of what happened. She has that look like he piqued her interest somehow.
Yeah.
Right? She got some scent off of this dude, right?
Pheromone.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
I was going to say Middle Eastern codfish.
No, it turns out he's just Hasidic.
Denim.
No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. He's Orthodox. So she catches something off this guy coming through customs, right?
Yep.
And he's got similar features, and they kind of have a connection. You see it happen. Now the story starts to follow these 2 developing a relationship, and I'm kind of with them. Like, all right, so there's something off about them. They're going to learn about themselves.
I have to ask you something.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go any further, are they the only 2 cavemen in the room? Like, is this supermarket full of like other cavemen?
No, they're the only 2.
Oh, so this
So it's
attraction
more like-
is completely unexpected.
So it's more like
and they just happen to be in the same area at the same time.
She's working security at like at a port.
It's not,
yeah.
it's not necessarily the cave, but it's more like a condition or a.
I'll get to
something-
it.
Okay.
I'll get to it.
All right, but we can agree that they were the only 2 that
Yes.
looked like that in the store. So this is not a surprise.
It's not a surprise.
Or
No,
a Geico commercial.
no, that's what I thought. It looked like a fucking 1993 soap opera from Geico. That's what it looked like. Yeah. But these 2 like hit it off, and they start to develop this relationship, and you're watching, and you're kind of intrigued. Like, what are they going to learn? Why do they look like this?
Yeah.
And what you find out, I hope you guys are sitting down and are ready to take notes. What you find out is they're trolls. Yep, trolls. Trolls, like
Bridge trolls?
like Nordic folklore trolls.
Oh,
Right?
Really?
Yep. So they're
from
trolls,
Iran.
and they're Iranian trolls.
Yep.
And what you learn is when they get intimate is that she is actually he, and he is actually she.
Oh, so
He's got a big hairy 70s bush, and she's got a little fucking orangutan pee-pee that comes out and fucking they bone in the woods, right? That was the scene that got my attention, the headline.
Really?
Of course.
How did
Yeah.
they? How did they do it? Did they do it? How
They did it
do
like
Doggy style?
Leslie fucks you, Mike. They
all right.
did it like that.
So
From behind.
she was behind me. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Just pulled your beard
I
from the
get
side.
it. I get it. That's why she told me to grow this thing.
Now,
Son of a-
I don't. I know I'm gonna get it, but that's not the weird part of this movie.
Are you fucking for real?
No,
That's not weird.
So
Okay.
here's what happens. After she fucks him in the woods.
the good old days.
Wait, by the woods, you mean the actual woods or just that hairy 70s bush? You're
Yes.
talking about- okay.
Yep. he gives birth to a baby.
Get out of here.
Really?
Puts it in a box and sticks it in the fridge. It's still alive, and he then
Well, it's a troll.
it's
Oh, is
It's
it an ice troll?
it's
Unincubate.
It's kind of a troll, yes. But she discovers this, and it turns out that this guy, this thing that gave birth to this weird fucking creature, is actually growing them, selling them to. He's swapping them out for people's actual babies. So he's stealing babies from people's houses and putting this thing that he gives birth to every few months that looks like a kid, and he's selling the baby to pedophiles.
Are you?
What the fuck?
She discovers
Holy
this
crap, I gotta watch
and
this
confronts
movie.
him about it. And he says, "Meet me on the ferry." So she meets him on the ferry. She brings cops with her. They arrest him. He jumps off the ferry, drowns, and then she goes back to living in the woods in her cabin. Oh, and she gets a baby troll delivered to her at the end of the movie, and that's how it ends.
Oh, by the way,
No. She goes for a walk in the woods.
hopefully it's not from fucking.
She goes for a walk in the woods and comes back.
Prime.
There's
At least she didn't buy a T-shirt.
There's a box on her front steps that she opens up, and it's a fucking baby troll.
I can't stand when he shows up delivered 10 years later.
That's what's happening.
10 to 8 years for delivery.
That's what's going on here. Cycle wanted to package it with a bonus ice troll.
Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? That is a fucked up movie.
So last night, as soon as it ended, I opened up my phone. I said, I need to write this down. And I will read you verbatim what I wrote from my review of this movie. And I said, watched it, and all I can say is, I said, wow. Now, my wife somehow stayed awake and watched this whole thing with me. It's an hour and 45 minutes. She can't stay awake through the opening credits of The Avengers.
Yeah.
She watched this. She chose last night to say, I'm going to stay awake and watch a movie with my man.
I'll watch this shit. Fuck this dude.
And after this disturbing movie, she didn't sleep.
After this
No.
disturbing movie, she put a strap on and said, "Hey, come to bed."
Her review perfectly summarizes.
Crank up that freezer.
So her review perfectly summarized the movie. And I'm throwing my air quotes. Overwhelming. Not sure what to think. Why was there so much hair? And
My wife says that to me every morning.
and why did the girl's penis look like a monkey finger saying, "Come here"? Yes, they showed it getting
to watch
erect
this.
from between her
I have
legs.
to watch this movie.
Oh my god!
It
I have
was
to watch
listen. The first half of it, I was with it. I was like, "There's something here that I want to learn about." And then it went off the rails in 35 different directions in the worst ways. I couldn't even describe it.
Dude, I'm thinking that the fucking writer died like halfway through the fucking script and just gave it up to somebody else.
From the trailer, I took it as this woman had like a birth defect.
That's how she was raised, to think that it was a birth
And
defect. Yes.
That she came across another person that had the same birth defect, and they clicked. That's the way I saw it.
That's
Like,
how
you know,
how they presented the relationship.
Yeah.
That's what you thought. Like, all right,
fucking
let's see what it
clicked in
is.
the woods.
Yep.
And it turns out he's just a troll selling his frozen babies to fucking
No. He's stealing real babies and leaving his frozen babies with the families.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Oh, so not only do you have real babies being sold into pedophilia, but you got a bunch of other families going, my mailman's really fucking ugly. Explain the title to me. What does border have to do
Border.
with it?
I think it's supposed to be kind of like have a double meaning. Like border.
borderline.
She
good.
works for the border patrol. Like she's screening, but she's also there's a border between who she is pretending to be and who she really is. Like she's pretending to be human, but she's actually a troll. I think.
Oh my god!
That's
Oh
fucking
my
nuts.
god!
It
We
was-
have to watch this movie.
I'm watching it tomorrow.
In the grand scheme of Iranian Swedish movies that I've seen, this sounds like it's on the lower end. I've seen some pretty good action thrillers come out of the Iranian Swedish pipeline, but never anything like this.
No, I'm
like-
watching
It was
this
fucking
movie.
I like how you
bananas.
put. I like how you put on the outline "stream at your own risk."
No,
So that's
Brad
great.
put
Oh,
that.
is that you?
Well, because I put the illegal Russian link to the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because they ain't
thank you.
releasing that shit here. Who are you kidding?
No, I'm watching it tomorrow.
I spent
Definitely.
$6 on it on Amazon Prime, and I'm mad.
I'm gonna spend $6 on it tomorrow. And
It was one of those movies. It ended, and I just stared at the screen for a few minutes, trying to collect my thoughts. I almost felt like I needed to review this movie next week because I need a whole 7 days to digest what
to
the fuck I
digest
just
There you
what
go.
watched.
happened.
Sometimes you got to.
It was
Craig's
fucking
like, yeah.
insane.
Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to watch these movies.
What's to
over and over
digest
again.
here? He's a pedophile with a fucking pronounced brow.
Yeah. No, he
he's
works
a
with
troll.
pedophiles.
Do we? What are we? Who are we talking? When we say he, which one are we talking about?
So
now?
what-
That's the thing.
Him,
who's-
the guy
he
with the
looks
vagina.
like the male. Yeah.
with the leather jacket.
Oh, okay.
The guy-
Yeah.
But that's fucking just what a weird fucking. I don't get it.
It's like a
As
dream.
a director
And it's not like they
or
present them-
writer or director.
and it's
Why-
not like they try to present it like a shock twist. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, that's what was happening. It
oh,
was
this
like,
is what trolls do.
no, it's expected.
Yeah.
Kind of expected thing, right?
yeah.
That's what trolls do. They freeze their babies.
Wait, is that one of them ice trolls? You gotta let him go.
Oh, that's
Gotta let him go.
Here we go with the religious freedom again.
Sometimes you get trolls to do what they're gonna do. Yeah. Shit.
It's your fault for boning him.
Yeah.
It really is. You should kind of know when he had no eyebrows and yet shaded his eyes
Yeah.
from the sun.
That chick's hot. She's got to have a
what's
big
crazy
dick.
to me is it was the headline that called me like, "Is this the weirdest sex scene ever filmed?" And I was like, "All right, I'm fucking weird.
I'm game.
Yeah, I'm in." And then I watched the whole movie and I was like, "Nope." The rest of the movie, second half of the movie, was fucking much weirder than that. No
Scene was-
sex.
The sex scene was the least fucking
Right.
fucked up thing about the movie.
How was the sex scene though? Hot?
Did they do a lot of?
Did you pause it?
It was very grunty.
I was gonna say troll pegging doesn't sound like a great fucking thing.
Monkey finger. That's the best. Gorilla fingers.
It pauses and goes to another scene. She gets whacked in the face with a whole bunch of green shit.
No, he does. He gets whacked
Oh,
in the
yeah,
face.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how they get pregnant. They have to swallow some.
All right, because we have such balance on this show, I'm gonna throw the next segment to Dave too.
Oh yeah.
Can we do something slightly less weird than troll pedophilia?
I will
rape?
certainly.
Pedophilia.
I will certainly try. So we've joked about this. I don't want to say we. I wasn't a part of it. Everybody else
you
has
saw
joked at
you,
me.
Dave.
Yeah. Apparently, I've become the official bearer of tampon news on the show.
Yeah, you
And-
have. Wear it like a red badge of pride.
Red fucking.
Like a kamikaze. It's a white fucking thing with the dot in the middle. Red dot right in the center.
Wear like a denim
I'm about to
fucking-
get my wings.
Yeah.
So
denim.
I like the Dave's heavy news flow. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
So,
that's good.
so tampons in the news. I figured, hey, fuck it, let's resurrect this and pull this back out of the dark holes that it started in.
We need some music for this. We need some music for
I
this.
should say this though. Needless to say, is not septic safe.
So so when it comes to tampons in the news, as I was looking, a couple headlines caught me, and it's talking about tampons, and the first one was about Justin Bieber, and I don't want to spend any more time on that. So Justin Bieber's a big tampon in the news.
There you go.
Headline.
Yeah. But there was an actual tampon story in the news, and it was about feminine products in prisons getting attention. Apparently, the feminine hygiene in prisons is not up to par for certain people.
No, it's not their.
Pouring on the floor.
Apparently,
It's not their first concern.
it's
behind
constantly
bars.
Shark Week in the pen. The guards are just chumming the cells. They don't know what's happening.
Hey, Ruth, it's a heavy flow day.
Yeah. Like all the inmates go to the mess hall, then they go get lunch.
Actually, everything is the mess hall.
The whole prison is a mess hall.
We got a riot in the yard, and there's a fight.
Fucking Benny Hill music fucking playing, everybody slipping in it. Oh, shit. That is pretty fucking
Lockdown and close the doors.
It's just a
locked down.
fucking pile of fucking unused uterus walls. Fucking everywhere.
A pile of unused uterus walls everywhere. Oh my god, kid. Wow.
All right, so do me a favor and shed the lining of this story. We
Everyone's trying to play like they're insane, so they get stuck in a padded room.
Dave's part of a very special society of smart people called Menzies.
Padded room.
I don't think we can follow
Oh
that.
my god.
You know, that was it. Those are my tampons in the news. Prison products and Justin Bieber.
Right? It's Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, so we can go from one bad flow to another and talk about how we wanted to round up the show.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great idea. Somebody scroll down, please.
There you go, Craig. Craig just scrolled down way too.
All right,
Craig
well,
needs a man pond.
let's go from heavy flow to somebody who hasn't flowed in 38 years.
There you go. Nice transition, brother.
I haven't. We've decided to go 2 weeks in a row with the roundup. I mean,
Yep.
we couldn't cover Vince Neil without covering his obvious doppelganger, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Turns out Ruth Bader Ginsburg now has her own beer thanks to our local favorite, Sam Adams Brewery. But because we are who we are and we don't particularly like Sam Adams, we're going to say, what would we name a Ruth Bader Ginsburg? The notorious RBG.
RB.
Right?
A
Notorious
literal
RBG.
icon for the liberal side of the fence. People, honestly, they haven't rallied behind somebody like this since Betty White. Okay? RBG has got her own beer. What would the guys of NTS name a beer about RBG? I started off with really old Milwaukee.
Lads, Sam Adams. Yeah, I dated him.
Oh my god, kid. That's a great one. Fucking hey, man.
See, for me, I read the story, and you know, Sam Adams did this for like International Women's Day, and they named the actual beer When There Are Nine. But in my head, I heard what they should have called is When They Are Flatlined.
Oh. I just barrel bottom.
Okay.
Barrel bucket. Barrel bottom. Screw it.
That's nice. That's what they give you in the prison if you're menstruating. I thought another good RBG beer would be Loose Island.
Men in bra.
I saw a cream of mushroom stout.
Jesus. Although my last one's going to get you.
Oh, well-aged justice.
That's actually a good name.
Oh my god. That's a good one.
Oh, I had Pabst Code Blue Ribbon.
Hey, yay for gay IPA.
Nice. That's awesome. Good job.
I stuck with the Sam Adams theme. I went with their Old Snap.
I think a good name would be, huh? What?
I was alive when they still thought this country was called India Pale Ale.
Ruth juice.
Right to the point. I like that.
How about the new Rebel IPA lot?
Nice, kid. Nice. Good job. That's fucking sweet. How about Stills Alive?
More of a gin thing, but all right.
Yeah.
I had unnatural light. And since I have more than the rest of you, I'm also going to go with overgrown bush.
See, I kept it with the Sam Adams, and I went with the New England Pale Skin Ale.
Skin ale.
That's like a deep order.
That's awesome. That's fucking great. That's fucking all risen ale.
Stupid. What's the beer for crickets? I said I had Michelobotomy, and then also Miller High Chance This Is the End of My Life.
I had the Corona Airy.
The Corona Airy. Nice. Fuck. God damn it.
Not to forget, to prevent that, take your Centrum Silver Bullet.
Central Silver Bullet. Fallen Gavel Light. That was stupid.
Crickets are going to work out.
We're gonna leave Brad's for last, but I had a couple more. I decided to go one. I went down the death route again. I went with Entrail Ale.
Oh my God, that's awesome, dude.
It's a horrible word.
It is. It is. But I did one related to her job. I went with Supreme Port.
There you go.
Yep.
Nice.
That's
Good
the one.
How about Lowenbrow Beater?
So that one makes sense. I like that one a lot. Craig, what else you got?
That was it for me.
Because mine is the grossest by a country
I was
mile.
light, and I'm waiting for yours.
Oh, I'll just fucking. How about Deadweiser? That's the obvious. Deadweiser and Guinnessburg. That's my last two.
I had Kidney Stone Light.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Or you can have your daily Pilsner.
I just had Genesee Creamy Discharge Ale. All right, so in the middle for the notorious RBG.
Yes. Shout out to Charlie with the notorious RBG.
That's it. Absolutely.
RBG's Creamy Ale.
I wrote it and puked and then kept it.
Yeah,
It was a horrible
that
thing.
was this guy. I saw it. I was like,
Right away. Fucking Sam Adams. Yeah, we dated though. That's a great.
That's good.
I like that one a lot, actually. All right. I guess that's it, huh? Let's wrap it up.
this up.
Sloppy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Now, this is going to be a very special edition of Needless to Say Housekeeping. Normally, most of you turn off the episode by now because you don't want to hear our music or the 20-minute gap that Craig leaves in there before the music. What's going on today is different. We for months and even a year, we've been telling you to go to teespring.com and look for the Needless to Say swag shop. I'm going to tell you all as my friends and my colleagues and my compatriots.
That is over.
That is over. Do not go to teespring.com. Do not support this show unless you really have to have the shirts from there. Because I had an incident this week twice. I ordered some of our own show's shit this week.
And they fucked you.
They fucked me hard. Okay, I bought a couple shirts, not only the new ones, but also some of the old ones to try to clear out the inventory and get them because none of us have bought them. Nobody else has bought them, whatever the case may be. I said, I'm going to go get some of these shirts, and they fucked me on shipping twice. I paid for uber fast shipping. I'm actually going to a heavy metal festival next weekend, and one of the bands that we always feature on the show is playing. And he agreed to wear our shirt on stage for this metal festival. So I paid for 3-day shipping. And the fucking idiot on the other end of the phone from some third-rate country nobody's ever heard of that makes Iranian Swedish movies.
I've heard of India before.
Yeah.
No, it's Idaho.
Oh, there you go. Same thing.
The Northern Strip.
That's right. The little taint of Idaho.
That's it. That's it. The denim thong line of Idaho.
Wet potato.
There was a troll woman. She's like, give me a fresh baby. I'll give you a frozen one.
Idaho's neck thing.
Give me a fresh baby. I'll give you a frozen one.
I don't know if you heard that, but Dave just said it was Idaho's neck thing. Yeah, so that's where customer service is based for teespring.com. And they told me I should have mentioned that I had a show on the channel earlier, and they might have rushed my shipping, but they did it.
No.
So now the Needless to Say shirt, which would have been seen by roughly 1,000 to 1,200 people, is now not going to be on stage this coming weekend.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
On top of that, and I mean, King will take care of us.
Oh, I know.
That's not the point. But on top of that, they still haven't given me back my money because it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks, or as Craig would say, 8 to 6
weeks.
8 to 6 weeks. And it makes sense because it's reverse processing. Money that they should have never cashed is now going to take 6 weeks to process for shirts that frankly weren't that fucking good. So do me a favor, if you're thinking about buying our shit, wait.
Yeah,
I'm going to say something I can't believe I'm saying.
I know.
Wait. Do
Well, we
not
don't
buy
want-
any more of our swag.
We don't want our fans to fucking go through that shit.
No, I don't.
You know,
yeah,
fuck
exactly.
No, we are going to get a new swag shop soon. It's going to be better. I've actually already started it. I'm transferring the designs because they own nothing over at Teespring, including a clue. All right. And
a shipping fucking person.
and we're going to get a better 100% in the States shop.
Yep.
All right. Where shipping's going to be at a reasonable thing. I can't promise pricing or whatever, but we're going to get something that's honest. You're going to get a good product. You're going to get it in a reasonable amount of time.
Exactly.
It's so I apologize to anybody who struggled with this already. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for buying our
Definitely.
shit. Thank you for wearing it. I've seen pictures of people wearing it.
Yep.
I actually had that moment not too long ago where I saw a guy.
You saw the guy wearing it?
I was in, of all places, a Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yep.
And I saw a guy wearing our shirt. And like an idiot, I didn't go up to him.
Yeah, you didn't say nothing to him.
Man.
It was the night we didn't record.
Yep.
And I said, you know what? I don't want to bother him because I don't want to seem self-important. And I didn't want him to be like, oh, my fucking brother lent me this shirt because I ripped mine.
Right?
Yeah.
I fucking
You're
hate this shirt.
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves in it.
It's all they had at the detention center when I checked out.
That's it. That's it. You know, it was either this or the other non-toilet paper that people were using to wipe their ass. Or soak up their menses in women's prison.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Genesee cream ale. Try to drink one after tonight. All right.
I didn't want to drink one before tonight. Never mind. Dude, that shit sucks.
Enjoy your Jenny Screamer.
Me, anyway.
All right. That said, the public service announcement from Needless to Say, but we have nothing else for tonight. Guys, ladies, thank you for hanging in tonight. It's going to be an interesting final product. That's for sure. But, you know, we can't help what's going on in the world. So until then, I'm going to throw it to Mike because you're back tonight. Take us out.
Needless to say, we said it.